4 worst fruits to skip, and 4 best to eat daily. Have you always believed that fruit is universally good for your health, especially after you turn 60? I hate to break it to you, but that belief isn't entirely true. In fact, some fruits that appear to be superfoods can quietly sabotage your memory, weaken your muscles, and even accelerate aging without you realizing it. It sounds shocking, doesn't it? Fruit, the very symbol of health and vitality, may actually turn into an enemy for older adults. The hidden culprits are not obvious. It's not about eating too much sugar in general, but about very specific risks: sudden spikes in blood sugar, chronic low-grade inflammation, and even dangerous interactions with common medications. Now, don't get me wrong, fruit is packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. That part is absolutely true. But here's the twist. After 60, the body changes. Your metabolism slows, your digestive system becomes more sensitive, and the way your cells respond to sugar and nutrients shifts dramatically. That means not all fruits remain friendly. Some that once helped you thrive can now work against you. So in today's video, as a physician with over 30 years of experience studying aging and senior health in the United States, I'll guide you through 4 fruits you must avoid. And more importantly, 4 fruits you should eat every single day. This isn't just theory. It's grounded in solid science, real clinical cases, and decades of practical experience. If you skip this, you might continue with eating habits that are quietly undermining your health. But if you stay with me, you'll discover how small, smart choices can protect your memory, strengthen your body, and keep you aging well. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Where are you watching this video from, and how old are you this year? Have you noticed your muscles feeling weaker, or movement becoming harder than before? Share your experience in the comments. I'll do my best to reply to as many as possible. Thank you for visiting Senior Health Tips, Healthy Aging. Let's get started. We've talked about how not every fruit is as safe as it seems, especially once the body starts changing after 60. And this is where things get eye-opening. Because while some fruits can truly support your health, others can quietly chip away at it, faster than you think. So let's break it down together. I'm going to count down the 4 worst fruits you should avoid after 60. Some of these may surprise you, because they often wear the disguise of being healthy choices. But once you see what they're really doing inside your body, you'll never look at them the same way again. Number 4. Grapes. They look so innocent, don't they? Tiny, juicy, bite-sized treasures that feel almost too easy to snack on. But here's the surprising truth. Those little bursts of sweetness are like flipping on a sugar faucet in your bloodstream, and there's no valve to slow the flow. Grapes are naturally high in sugar, but what most people don't realize is how quickly that sugar hits your system, especially once you're past 60. Unlike an apple or a pear, grapes have very little fiber to slow things down. That means your blood sugar spikes almost immediately, and if your body's insulin response isn't as strong as it used to be, those spikes can quietly push you toward prediabetes, or even type 2 diabetes. I once had a patient who loved to snack on grapes every night while watching TV. She told me it felt like the perfect, healthy dessert. But when we checked her blood work, her fasting glucose and A1C told a different story. She was sliding into prediabetes, and neither of us realized the nightly grape ritual was the main trigger until we traced it back. The moment she cut back, her numbers began to stabilize. And let's not forget pesticides. Grapes often top the dirty dozen list when it comes to pesticide residues. For an older body that's already working harder to filter toxins, that extra burden can add to inflammation and strain the liver. Think of it like pouring sweet syrup into a system that's already running low on energy filters. It's not that grapes are bad for everyone. In small amounts, or as part of a balanced meal, they can be fine. But the problem is how easy it is to overeat them. A handful turns into 2, then 3, and before you know it, you've consumed the sugar equivalent of several cans of soda. without realizing it. Now, I'm curious, do you eat grapes often? And if you do, have you noticed how your body feels afterward? Do you get a quick burst of energy, then crash? Try paying attention the next time. You might be surprised at the connection. And here's the thing. If you thought grapes were risky, just wait. Because the next fruit on our list? It doesn't just spike your blood sugar, it can actually set your stomach on fire within minutes. Number 2. Pineapple. It's hard not to love pineapple. Bright yellow, refreshing, and bursting with that tropical sweetness. It feels like a mini vacation with every bite. But here's the part most people don't realize. Beneath that sunny flavor hides a sharp acidity and an enzyme called bromelain that can quietly turn into trouble, especially once you're over 60. Think of your stomach lining like a thin, protective blanket. Every time you eat, that blanket shields your digestive tract from irritation. Pineapple, with its strong acids and bromelain, can be like pouring a gentle but persistent acid over that fragile layer. At first, you might just feel a little burn or sour stomach. But over time, the repeated exposure can lead to irritation, gastritis, or even worsen ulcers. I once had a patient who made pineapple part of her morning ritual. She believed it was the perfect cleansing fruit to start the day. Within months, though, she began struggling with bloating, heartburn, and eventually was diagnosed with gastritis. When we traced it back, her habit of eating fresh pineapple on an empty stomach was one of the main culprits. Once she switched to gentler fruits, her symptoms gradually improved. And there's another layer of caution. Bromelain isn't just hard on your stomach, it can interact with medications. Many older adults take blood thinners or certain antibiotics, and pineapple can intensify their effects, leading to unexpected side effects. It's one of those sneaky risks most people never hear about until it happens. Does that mean you should never enjoy pineapple again? Not necessarily. A small serving after a balanced meal, rather than on an empty stomach, is often easier to tolerate. But if you notice stomach discomfort, burning, or new digestive issues, it may be your body's way of saying, enough. Now here's the twist. If pineapple's acidity can irritate your stomach, the next fruit on our list can do something even more surprising. It doesn't just affect your gut. It can slowly wear away at something you probably never thought fruit could harm: your smile. Number 3. Oranges. For many of us, oranges feel like comfort food. A glass of orange juice at breakfast, a fresh slice in the afternoon, it's a ritual we've carried for decades. They've always been the symbol of vitamin C, of energy, of keeping colds away. But here's the twist. After 60, that trusted friend can sometimes become a quiet enemy. The biggest issue isn't the vitamin C, it's the acid. Oranges are loaded with citric acid, and while your teeth are strong, their enamel, the protective outer layer, is not indestructible. Imagine a tiny grain of sand slowly rubbing against glass every single day. At first, you don't notice much, but over time the shine fades, the surface weakens, and eventually cracks appear. That's exactly how citric acid works on your enamel. It doesn't destroy your teeth overnight, but little by little, it erodes your smile. And it's not just your teeth. For people with arthritis, research has found that citric acid can sometimes worsen flare-ups. The body, already inflamed, reacts to the high acidity with more stiffness, more pain, more swelling. One of my patients, who adored her daily orange juice, couldn't understand why her arthritis medications weren't helping as much as before. When we reduced her citrus intake, her flare-ups became less severe. It wasn't a cure, but it was a relief she didn't expect. Another hidden concern is drug interaction. Many seniors rely on medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart rhythm. Citrus fruits, including oranges, can change the way those drugs are absorbed or broken down in the liver. It's like throwing off the balance of a carefully tuned system, and the results can be unpredictable. Now, this doesn't mean you can never touch an orange again. Enjoying it occasionally, especially as part of a meal rather than on an empty stomach, is usually fine. But daily heavy consumption, especially in juice form, might be doing more harm than good. So here's my question. How often do oranges or orange juice make it onto your table? And have you ever noticed your teeth becoming more sensitive or your joints aching after a citrus-heavy day? It's worth paying attention, because if oranges, the classic healthy fruit, can cause this much trouble, just wait. The final fruit on our list is even trickier. It's sitting in almost every kitchen right now, and while it seems harmless, it's actually the sweetest sugar trap of them all. Number 4. Bananas. Bananas are everywhere. They're affordable, easy to eat, and for many people they've been the go-to snack since childhood. That yellow peel feels like a symbol of convenience and health. But here's the part we don't often stop to think about. Once you pass 60, this national fruit can sometimes act more like a sweet candy bar wrapped in a golden jacket. Bananas are high on the glycemic index, which means they raise your blood sugar quickly. If your metabolism has slowed down with age, or if your insulin response isn't as sharp as it used to be, that sugar rush can linger in your system. I've seen older patients who relied on bananas every morning as their healthy start. Yet, when we checked their A1C, a marker of long-term blood sugar control, it told a different story. Despite eating what they thought was good for them, their bodies were struggling with creeping fatigue and unstable energy. And while bananas give you potassium, they're surprisingly limited when it comes to antioxidants compared to other fruits. That means they don't fight oxidative stress, the slow rusting of your cells, the way berries, cherries, or pomegranates do. In other words, you get the sugar spike without much of the cellular protection. Another thing many people notice but rarely connect to bananas is constipation. Because bananas are starchy and low in water content once fully ripe, they can slow digestion instead of helping it, especially in older adults whose digestive systems are already less efficient. Now, let me ask you, when you eat bananas, do you prefer them bright yellow and sweet, or still a little green? The ripeness makes a big difference. Greener bananas have more resistant starch, which the body digests more slowly. But as they ripen, that starch turns into quick sugar, making the blood sugar effect even stronger. Bananas aren't bad, but if they've been your daily comfort fruit, it may be time to rethink how often you reach for them. Because here's the good news. While some fruits can quietly work against your health, there are others, the real heroes, that can actively slow down aging, protect your memory, and keep your body stronger for longer. And that's exactly where we're headed next. We've just seen how some fruits, though seemingly healthy, can cause trouble after 60. But the story doesn't end there. Because alongside those traitors, there are also silent heroes. Fruits packed with the power to heal, protect, and even slow down the signs of aging. And the list begins at number 4. Pomegranate. Cracking open a pomegranate feels like opening a treasure chest. Each ruby seed glistens as if it's holding a secret. And in many ways, it is. For people over 60, those tiny arrows can be like little soldiers fighting on your behalf, protecting your heart, your brain, and even your memory. Pomegranates are rich in polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that act like a cleanup crew inside your blood vessels. Imagine years of cholesterol and toxins slowly leaving behind sticky residue on the walls of your arteries. Over time, that buildup makes it harder for blood to flow freely. The compounds in pomegranate juice have been shown in research to help reduce that plaque and improve circulation. It's like sending in a team of repair workers who scrub away the clutter, so your heart doesn't have to pump quite as hard. But the benefits don't stop at the heart. Several studies suggest that pomegranates can also improve memory and slow down cognitive decline. In one clinical trial, older adults who drank pomegranate juice daily performed better on memory tests compared to those who didn't. It's as if those jewel-like seeds help keep the wiring in your brain from fraying. I remember a patient who used to complain about forgetfulness, misplacing her keys, repeating the same story twice in one conversation. After incorporating pomegranate juice a few times a week, along with other small dietary shifts, she felt sharper and more confident. Of course, it wasn't magic, but it was one of those small changes that made a real difference. And beyond science, there's something emotional about eating pomegranate. It takes time and care to open one, to gently pull out each seed. In a way, it teaches patience, something that feels symbolic when you're focused on healthy aging. So the next time you see that tough red shell at the market, don't pass it by. Inside might be one of the simplest tools to keep your heart young and your mind alert. And if you think pomegranate is impressive for memory, just wait, because the next fruit takes brain health to a whole new level, and it might surprise you. Number 3. Blueberries. Blueberries may look small, but they carry a strength that belies their size. These tiny indigo pearls are packed with anthocyanins, a special plant compound that works almost like nature's own brain supplement. Scientists have found that older adults who drank blueberry juice regularly showed noticeable improvements in memory and learning ability. It's as if these berries were quietly polishing the edges of the mind, helping thoughts flow more clearly and memories stay just a little sharper. And it doesn't stop with the brain. Blueberries also lend their protective hand to the eyes, shielding them from the gradual decline that so many people accept as just aging. Think of them as a purple shield, standing guard over delicate neurons and vision pathways, keeping the lights on inside long after the body starts to slow. I remember one study where seniors who incorporated blueberries into their routine didn't just recall words and tasks better. They also reported feeling more present, less foggy, as if their days had more clarity. That's the beauty of these berries. They don't promise miracles, but they gently build resilience from the inside out. Now let me ask you, have you noticed how different you feel on the days you eat darker, more colorful fruits compared to lighter, sweeter ones? The body knows how to respond to these deeper pigments, and it rewards you with energy, sharper focus, and steadier moods. Blueberries are not just a snack. They're a daily act of protection, a way of saying to yourself, my mind and body are worth guarding. They, and the best part is, they fit into almost any lifestyle. Toss them into oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or simply enjoy them by the handful. But here's where it gets even more exciting. While blueberries work wonders for the mind and the eyes, the next fruit has an entirely different kind of gift. Imagine being able to sleep more deeply and ease the stiffness in your joints, all from something sitting right in your kitchen. Curious? Let's turn to that one next. Number 2. Cherries. Cherries may look delicate, but inside those glossy red skins lies something powerful: melatonin, nature's own sleep hormone. For many people past 60, falling asleep and staying asleep feels like a battle, as if the body has forgotten how to rest deeply. A handful of cherries, or even a small glass of tart cherry juice, can help reset that rhythm. It's almost like slipping a tiny red clock into your body, one that quietly tells your system, it's time to rest now. But sleep isn't the only gift cherries bring. They are also rich in compounds that fight inflammation, which is often the hidden culprit behind aching joints and morning stiffness. In fact, I recall a patient who had been struggling with gout for years. His medications helped, but flare-ups still came suddenly and painfully. When he began adding cherries into his diet, the frequency of those attacks dropped, and his recovery time became shorter. He felt as though he had finally found a gentle ally, something natural that worked with his body rather than against it. Cherries also lower uric acid, the very substance that fuels gout pain. Imagine it like this. Too much uric acid is like pouring tiny shards of glass into the bloodstream, cutting and irritating from the inside. Cherries act as the cleanup crew, sweeping away those shards and leaving the body calmer, less inflamed, and more comfortable. The beauty of cherries is that they don't just target one issue. They touch multiple parts of health at once. Better sleep, less pain, more energy the next day. That combination is why many call them a true natural medicine chest, wrapped in a sweet, tangy bite. Now I'm curious. When was the last time you enjoyed cherries? Was it fresh in the summer, dried as a snack, or maybe as juice in the evening? Sometimes small, consistent habits like this can make a bigger difference than we expect. And while cherries already feel like a gift, saving nights of rest and easing days of discomfort, there is still one more fruit that deserves the crown. The king of them all. The one that carries unmatched benefits for anyone over 60. Let's meet that royal fruit next. Number 1. Avocados. Avocados may seem unassuming, sitting quietly on your kitchen counter with their matte green skin, but inside lies a true powerhouse for anyone over 60. Think of them as the unsung heroes of the fruit world, the silent warriors working behind the scenes to keep your body running smoothly. The first thing that makes avocados remarkable is their healthy fats. These monounsaturated fats act like a premium oil for your body's engine, keeping your blood vessels flexible, nourishing your heart, and supporting brain health. Imagine a well-oiled machine. Without proper lubrication, it grinds and wears down faster. Avocados provide that essential lubrication, helping every system, from your heart to your neurons, function efficiently. Then there's the potassium. Each avocado delivers more potassium than a banana, but without the blood sugar spike. For older adults, this is crucial, as potassium helps regulate blood pressure, supports muscle function, and even aids nerve signaling. When paired with the healthy fats, it helps your body absorb other nutrients more effectively, making every meal more powerful. Studies consistently show the benefits. In one trial, adults over 60 who incorporated avocado into their daily diet scored higher on memory and problem-solving tests, and brain scans revealed better neural connectivity. Another study highlighted improved absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, which are essential for vision, immune health, and overall vitality. In real life, I've seen patients like Adeline, 75, regain energy, clearer thinking, and even lower blood pressure by making avocado a daily habit, half at breakfast, half at dinner. It's remarkable how one fruit can make such a tangible difference. Avocados are versatile too. Spread them on toast, dice them into salads, blend into smoothies, or even pair with cooked dishes. They seamlessly enhance both flavor and nutrition. And the best part? They satisfy without spiking blood sugar, keeping energy steady throughout the day. Think of the avocado as the quiet friend who shows up every day, doesn't demand attention, but transforms your well-being over time. It's the body's maintenance crew in a fruit disguise. For anyone over 60, making this fruit a daily companion is more than a choice. It's an investment in longevity, vitality, and sharper mind-body function. So as you consider which fruits to include in your diet, let the avocado take center stage. Let it become your ally, your daily ritual, and your silent hero in the journey of aging stronger, smarter, and healthier. Let's take a step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Because thriving after 60 isn't just about which fruits you put on your plate. It's about the lifestyle choices you embrace every single day, the rhythms you create, and the habits you nurture. Think of it like tending a garden. The fruits are vital, yes, but the soil, water, sunlight, and care determine whether it truly flourishes. Combining these superfruits with consistent physical activity is key. Gentle strength training, daily walks, or even stretching exercises don't just maintain muscle mass. They improve circulation, boost metabolism, and enhance mental clarity. Imagine your body as a finely tuned orchestra. The fruits provide the instruments, but movement is the conductor, ensuring everything works in harmony. Studies have shown that older adults who pair nutrient-rich diets with moderate exercise reduce inflammation, maintain healthy weight, and enjoy sharper cognitive function. Sleep, too, is a powerful ally. Melatonin-rich foods like cherries are wonderful, but nothing replaces the restorative power of deep, uninterrupted rest. Adequate sleep supports immune function, balances hormones, and allows your body to repair itself at the cellular level. Think of it as the nightly maintenance crew that ensures your engine runs smoothly every morning. Eating according to the seasons adds another layer of wisdom. Seasonal fruits and vegetables aren't just fresher and more flavorful. They align with natural cycles that help regulate your energy, metabolism, and immune defenses. It's a simple, elegant way to honor both your body and the environment. The overarching truth is this: turning 60 isn't a full stop. It's the beginning of a new chapter. The choices you make now, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, define the quality of the decades ahead. Each small habit compounds, each mindful decision builds resilience. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports vitality, joy, and longevity. So while we've explored the best and worst fruits to fuel your body, remember they're part of a much larger picture. True wellness is holistic. It's the interplay of nutrition, movement, rest, and mindfulness that ultimately shapes how strong, vibrant, and alive you feel. And the most exciting part? You have the power to design this journey, one intentional choice at a time. Let's wrap this up with a gentle reminder and a bit of inspiration. Over the course of this journey, we've uncovered the 4 fruits that may quietly work against your health after 60: grapes, pineapple, oranges, and bananas. On the brighter side, we've also highlighted the true allies of vitality: pomegranates, blueberries, cherries, and avocados. Here's the heart of it. Health isn't just measured by the number of years you live, but by the quality and energy in each day. Every choice matters, and you have the power to decide whether to keep consuming foods that subtly weaken your body, or to embrace changes that make you stronger, sharper, and more resilient every single day. Think of it as giving yourself the gift of better mornings, more energy, and a mind that stays sharp. Now it's time to take action. Start integrating these superfruits into your daily routine. Choose one today, experiment, and see how it feels. And I'd love to hear from you. Which fruit will you begin with? Share your plan in the comments, and let's inspire each other to live healthier, more vibrant lives. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to Senior Health Tips Healthy Aging. This way, you won't miss any of our practical science-backed strategies to stay strong and healthy well beyond 60. Your journey to a more energized, longer-lasting life starts now.